I noticed some folks are doing snail farming these days because it's very expensive when you go to the eateries.
Yeah, it is. And I think why it's expensive, first of all, it's...
A piece of snail would be far more expensive than a barrel of oil.
Yes, but it's considered as somewhat kind of a luxury good in the sense that right now we see huge demand for snail. Like if you go for parties or functions, snail is only presented, you know, either to the high end or the higher population within the, you know, the economy.
The big boys.
The big boys.
At the party.
Exactly. Why? Because, you know, it's high in protein, less cholesterol, you know, so those are the types of dishes that some of these, you know, bigger boys would eat. So for the masses, it's not really affordable, considering the fact that, you know, a mature snail only costs about 300 to 500 naira compared to chicken drumstick, which cost about 250 naira. So that's, you know, but I think the reason, I'd
rather do a snail than a chicken.
Yeah, so the demand for it is high, whereas the supply is not matching up. So we've not even...
we got all the forests, don't we?
We do, and we have a lot of states that are actually considered as the riverine areas, but it seems like no one is seeing...
Southwest, Southeast?
Delta, Edo, those are some of the places.
South?
Yes.
All the way to the middle belt?
Those are some of the areas that can actually be favorable when it comes to snail production.
So we could do massive snail farming if I want to go into agriculture.
Yes.
And because these are animals that, what's their feedstock really?
And you don't lose a lot when you're producing snail compared to like other animals.
Like chicken and all
fishes
that. Yes.
And all that.
Yes.
So there's no reason why one can't, you know, get into the business.
I don't understand it. You just drive all through the Southwest, whatever, and it's women or so, boys hanging some bunch of snails on the roadside. It's 3,000, 5,000. And you just look at what, perhaps the type of car you drive. Maybe. You know, I say, hold on a second. These things were picked free of the forest.
Yes, but I think another issue with it is storage, because one can eat a dead snail. It has so many, you know, harmful effects when you eat a snail that is already, when you cook a snail that is already dead. The snail has to be cooked when it's still alive. It should be put in the boiling water when it's still alive. So storage is a problem, keeping it in a condition where, you know, the snails are still alive to move. So I think that has always been our major issue when it comes to agricultural products or producing different types of agricultural, you know, products. But at the end of the day, we're still producing about 500,000 kg, which is still on the, compared to the 40 million, we're not doing so great, but it's another avenue.
It's okay, but you folks decided to use that picture. Yeah. Nice picture of, is that what you call a pepper snail?
Yes.
I haven't had breakfast this morning. You just guys came here to whip up my appetite. With that, I'm looking at.
Yes.
I guess I'm going to have that frontal later today. It looks very nice. Perhaps that's when you put all the ingredients together, it becomes more expensive.
Yes, it does. It does. Even in France, they have something similar, you know, where they, you know, mix it with several expensive ingredients, and it's a delicacy, it's a luxury.
I'm telling the French, those snails better than Nigeria. No, don't let us go with the jollof conversation about who does jollof better. But again, I think we should be doing snails better. Yes. Are we exporting it? Is it exportable?
Not that we know of right now, because we don't think we're producing enough to match the quality of, you know, some of these European.
Because to export it, you need to put it into kind of a semi-finished product, and perhaps put it in a kind of what they call hot dogs, you know, scenario. You know, you put it in a can, put a few things in it to make sure that you preserve it, and then you can.
Then you can, you know, export it, and somewhat export it while it's still alive. So that's keeping it refrigerated. You know, keeping it in
all the way in a container.
Where
maybe we just fly it rather than use a ship. Yeah, because if you move via Air France today in the morning, it gets to Paris same day or anywhere else in Europe. Yeah. So that could be very big business. I haven't thought about it. Maybe I could just do it because. Okay, so where do we big exporting company refrigeration and all that? You can just invest in this. This shouldn't cost that much, should it?
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't really. But you know, with Nigeria, so we face so many other challenges. You know, a lot of things to do with whether we're, you know, following the government, you know, the government related excuses, you know, all of that type of thing. So those are the issues that we see with production of snail within Nigeria.
Go to your backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't cost that much. Now let's get back to the business of the world of oil and about oil production. The powers trying to hold Venezuela, the Western world on this side and Russia China and others, Bolivia and the rest on the other side, are trying to hold Venezuela, and that is the oil production.
Yeah.
Bloomberg reports, of course, overnight, some idle ships of Venezuela is there because someone is trying to buy the oil and things like that. So that is putting a bit of a pressure on the price of oil.
Yes. So, well, oil prices are up today to about $62 per barrel. Why? Because, we're still driving the OPEC-led, production cuts, which is having an effect on the prices. We're seeing that the sanctions within, or the U.S. sanctions in Venezuela is also reducing production within the. But regarding the ExxonMobil, the Chevron, and all of that are increasing production, we feel like temporarily, we expect that this should hinder the increases in oil prices.
Okay, so it looks like prayer is working for some folks in Abuja who would like to see oil at a very decent north of $60 a barrel. But let's get into the agricultural commodities. Wheat is down, cocoa and corn prices are up. Where is sugar?
Well, sugar currently is up. Why? Because we're expecting, or there are expectations that Indian production would actually decline. But regarding sugar, like we've mentioned severally, the fact that everyone is becoming health conscious is reducing the demand for sugar, and some of these manufacturers within India are responding by reducing their production within that country. And also demand in other countries like Australia is also helping to boost sugar prices at the moment. With wheat, we're seeing, although wheat and corn usually move in the same direction, but with wheat, we're seeing that production is actually increasing. But for corn, production is increasing, but we're seeing a case where demand is increasing faster than production, which is helping to boost prices.
What's the outlook as far as cocoa is concerned for us for the new year, as it were?
Well,
looking at our production, the season, and our two big brothers,
Ivory Coast
and Ghana.
And Ghana, yes. Well, all cocoa prices are up today, but we expect that cocoa prices would actually taper down a bit because of increased production within those countries. And somewhat during the middle of the year, where cocoa production has become heightened, we expect that prices will taper down, which is not great for our export earnings. So that's the outlook for us within Nigeria.
So what do we do?
What do we do is focus on other things or diversify. What we've carried on with all our diversification processes. But times and times without number, we come with different, agricultural products that one can actually invest in and, help to boost the countries, or even the government helping, farmers that would want to invest in such agricultural products. So we're less dependent on ones. And like we've seen, it seems like with cocoa, we can never win or earn a comparative advantage where we have our neighboring, brothers who are winning that aspect.
No, why can't we win? We were once the cocoa capital of the world.
We were once, but, it would be hard to, because these people have invested years and, technology and all that in the rapid production of this particular product.
Okay, maybe we should make that another focus for investment. I'm not sure we can. We can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we just invest our crude oil money in cocoa production, some of the beneficiation process, maybe that will help us gain on Ghana and cocoa. But it is going to take a lot, as you rightly said, to plant new cocoa.
Which takes about 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, before you start getting something out of it. So by then, those folks are not going to sit down and wait for us.
Yes, of course.
They're not. Okay. Let's leave it there for today. Do you do snail?
No.
You don't eat snails? No. Okay. For those of you who eat snails, let's have that conversation. Very big business if you're into it. Bolanle Abaji, one of the research analysts and economists at Financial Derivatives Company. Of course, when we come back, we're going back to the marketplace. Juma Kolani is one of the vice presidents at FMDQ, and is joining us for a very brief update on the market. She's in charge of market architecture at FMDQ OTC Securities Exchange. She's live to us from their studios there. Join that conversation. Don't miss it right after the break. We'll be back in 2.